submit for the, first of all, I'd like to submit for the record 3 articles here, one on these topics, one from Heritage Society, one from Newsweek, and one from the Providence Journal. And then Mr. Gosar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the committee's interest in protecting people of faith abroad. Sadly, this administration's persecution of Christians here at home strips them of any credibility whatsoever in fighting religious discrimination abroad. The Department of Justice under this administration has indicted at least 34 people of protesting outside abortion clinics under the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrance Acts. Many pro-lifers face years behind bars. One man, Mark Hoke, was arrested in front of his wife and 7 children in an unnecessary and brutal raid where FBI agents brandished their weapons at the family. Multiple FBI field offices worked together to construct a memo that encouraged the infiltration and targeting of Catholic worshipers. The DOJ threatened states that passed laws protecting children from mutilation and harmful chemical infusions. Biden signed a law last year that perverted the federal definition of marriage. The U.S. military refused to grant thousands of brave service members a religious exemption to the COVID-19 vaccine. Health and Human Services is seeking to limit the ability of employers to oppose to providing contraceptive coverage for religious reasons to refrain from violating their conscience. January 6 prisoners have claimed that federal prison officials have prevented them from attending religious services. Meanwhile, rioters who destroyed property to the tune of $2 billion in the Summer of Love and pro-abortion terrorists who firebombed pro-life pregnancy centers roam free. This administration should start with itself when it comes to eradicating religious freedom. Now, question, Mr. Curry, does the persecution of Christians here at home by this administration undermine the ability of advocates to help prosecute Christians abroad?
Congressman, I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. My expertise is on international persecution. I would...
Dr. Patterson?
Do you mind saying the question one more time?
Yeah, does the persecution of Christians here at home by this administration undermine the ability of advocates to help persecute Christians abroad?
I'd say that the persecution of people of faith at home does undermine our efforts abroad.
Would you agree, Dr. Mobbs?
I would agree, yes.
Ukraine has taken procedural steps to ban their Ukrainian Orthodox Church over alleged ties to Russia. Zelensky has sanctioned several leaders of the Church of Ukraine. Ukraine's constitutional court unilaterally changed the name of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. A government body meddling in the affairs of a church to the extent of renaming should be utterly an anathema to any person of goodwill. A Christianity Today article from just a couple of days ago claims that the Ukrainian National Police, known as the SBU, have accused 68 Church of Ukraine priests of collaboration, treason, and other offenses. The Ukrainian citizenship of 20 of these priests was revoked. Are you concerned, Dr. Mobes, that the Ukrainian government is violating the religious liberty of its citizens?
I would say anytime you have any violation of anyone's religious liberties, we should be concerned.
How about you, Dr. Patterson?
I agree with that statement.
Since it's international, Mr. Curry?
Yes, both the Russian side and the Ukrainian side are using religion as a wedge, and it's unacceptable.
I see the same thing. You're exactly right. The Ukrainian Security Service orchestrated a raid on the Russian Orthodox Christian monastery in Kiev in November of 2022. Is this what a democratic country that respects freedom of religion looks like, Dr. Mobbs?
Unfortunately, I don't know anything about that raid, sir.
Okay, how about you, Dr. Patterson?
I don't know about that specific case.
No? Okay. Well, the Media Research Center recently broke a story detailing how the Department of Homeland Security approved of a grant to Dayton College under a program meant to fight all forms of terrorism and targeted violence. Money from the grant was used to produce a seminar where a DHS agent included the Christian Broadcasting Network, along with other conservative entities like the Heritage and Fox News, in a pyramid of far-right radicalization. Another presenter of this group was an Antifa member who admitted proudly that his group often breaks the law. I'm curious to get the panel's take on how protecting religious freedom at the home will complement congressional and executive pressures to protect the people of faith abroad. Could you comment on that, Dr. Mobbs?
I think that it's very clear that what we do here echoes elsewhere. So in order for us to be a model around the world, we have to ensure that we're doing what we say we're doing here at home, which is allowing religious freedom and protecting all of the constitutional rights enshrined in our Constitution.
How about you, Dr. Patterson?
I agree with that statement, and it's particularly worrying when people glorify lawlessness and violence as if that is somehow something that's positive. We can't hand that on to our children.
Well, I applaud the lady from the gentlelady from California, because she's right on target with where this needs to go. Because we have to look at home as well as abroad. and our law enforcement agencies are no similar person. They have to be looked at very intensely. With that, I yield back.